Your team was losing at halftime to Seattle. Your team lost to the Bears. Your team lost to the Broncos. Your team is trash.
Whoa, let's pump the brakes a little bit, Dukebothers. I know you don't believe what you say there. You know that because we lost week 1 to the Bears and week 3 to the Broncos. Hey, I was at that game, by the way. Completely different team, which I know you know. And, oh, what? We were trailing by 1 point to the Seahawks at halftime when everyone in that stadium knew they had absolutely no momentum at halftime? Wow. Come on, let's pump the brakes there a little bit, Duke. I just wanted to have that be a little sample. Let's get this started.
They're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Clark caught it! Dwight Clark!
All in it out the gate, never gradual. The opposite of imposter. I've been a Niner longer than every name on the roster. We was there through them dark days. Where was you in them candlestick park days? Still with it, I never left. You can check on my receipts, they longer than CVS. The BBS in them Super Bowl rings make them shine hard. No bandwagon jumping, I'ma die hard. We fly far to watch them cook on the road. Take it over, make it look like home. We the empire. It's day faithful, it's hell hot. I be nodding out, walking to my mailbox. It's an everyday thing. I reload, draw down, cock back the hammer, and it's bang bang Niner gang. Feel me?
Bang, bang, Niner gang. 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 Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Are we? Niner gang. Niner gang. Niner gang. Niner gang. Who are we?
You know, in my video before the Seahawks game last week, I stated that the Seahawks-Niners rivalry is number 2 all-time on Niners Rivals. And number 1 all-time will always be the Dallas Cowboys. The rivalry from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s still stands to this day, despite the fact that they have not played each other in the playoffs since the 90s up until last season. The Cowboys will always be the Niners' number 1 rival. And I'm so thrilled for tomorrow that we get a resumption of that rivalry once again. And oh, I know you Cowboys fans want your revenge, Duke. Oh, I know you want your revenge, but you're not coming into our house and beating us tomorrow. And I am so thrilled that we get to have this hate week. Yes, I know I'm a little bit late to it. I've been busy with work and everything. Yes, the game is tomorrow. You can just say it's a hate day, but who gives a shit? You know that I'm pumped up and I'm ready for this. And Duke, you've been making videos on here in the Trash Talking Circle for over 16 years when the TTC first started. And this month was the 14th anniversary of my first ever YouTube video, and for about 13 and a half years I've been trash talking with the TTC. And yes, I know this season I haven't made that many videos because I've been busy, and you know, some people might say the Trash Talking Circle is dead, and as far as I'm concerned, it's never going to die. It'll always be there. But this rivalry is a classic, and I just could not wait for tomorrow's game. Now, I'm not going to come on here and say that the Niners are absolutely going to blow the Cowboys out. I will predict that it will be a close game, a somewhat down-to-the-wire game. But I'll just say this. If the Cowboys find themselves in a similar position than they did last year in the wildcard game, when we were up by a significant margin in the third quarter, this Cowboys team will not come back and make it a close game against this defense if they find themselves down by a significant margin at halftime or in the third quarter or whatever. In that case, this will not be a close game. The Niners will run away with it in that case, but I think that it will be a close game. But all I'm saying is if the Cowboys find themselves in a spot like that where they have to play catch-up, it will not happen. It just won't. Now, this Cowboys defense, it's no joke. Micah Parsons, he's a beast. Not going to take anything away from him. He could have got Defensive Player of the Year. But hey, Nick Bosa doesn't even compare with what he was able to do this year. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's a damn good player. He's been on your guys' team forever, it feels like. You said in your video, Duke, that Javon Curse is going to play. He's still listed as questionable. I don't know if he's going to play. I would put my money that he probably won't. But forget our defense versus your defense, because our defense obviously doesn't play your defense. This Niners offense, has just way too much talent for your defense to have any answer to. CMC, the way he's playing, man, since we made the trade, since we said fuck those picks and traded them to the Carolina Panthers for CMC, for Christian McCaffrey, since his arrival back in the Bay Area, because of course he played at Stanford, since then, this team basically has not lost a game. And I'm not going to count the Chiefs game where you only played a few snaps, and the last game that we lost back on October 23rd, and we've won 11 straight since then. So we're basically undefeated since Christian McCaffrey's arrival back in the Bay Area. And he's still unstoppable, that we even have local Dallas sports talk radio hosts wishing injury upon him.
Paying dividends. He's made it unfair. You know, he took them
He's healthy now. Carolina, he couldn't stay healthy. Now he never gets hurt.
We could use an injury. We really could.
Yeah.
Now, sports talk radio is actually one of my favorite things in general. I'm a big listener of 95.7 The Game and KMBR in the Bay Area. I stream it on my phone almost every single weekday. And living in the Phoenix area, I'll even occasionally listen to the local Arizona sports talk as well. And the hosts, they'll joke around with each other, they'll bust each other's balls, they'll make all kinds of jokes, but they would never, ever jokingly wish injury on a player. And I'll put jokingly in quotation marks because, hey, I mean, I have somewhat of a feeling that your guys' fan base probably thinks that the only way that you have a shot to win this game tomorrow is if there is some injury that happens with CMC. And that shit is funny to me. Hey, I'm not mad about it. I ain't even mad about it, because that just proves that you guys know that you'll have absolutely no answer to CMC. And this offense just has too many weapons. Deebo Samuel, do you remember what he did to Micah Parsons last year in the wildcard game? Brandon Ayuk, he's an underrated weapon that you guys might not prepare for as much as you should. Expect him to have a beasting game. George Kittle has looked his absolute best in his whole career, and that's saying a lot. Like, since Brock Purdy's taken over, he's made George Kittle look the best that he's had in his entire career. And again, that's saying a lot, because 2017, 2018, the 2019, 2020 season when we made it to the Super Bowl last, George Kittle is an absolute beast. And the last couple years, he may have taken a little bit of a step back, but right now, he's back in full effect, and he looks better than ever. And again, CMC, whether he's just running it up the middle, whether he's running it outside, whether he's catching a screen pass, returning it for extra yardage, or even a touchdown, he's unstoppable. And Elijah Mitchell proved last week that he can do the same thing as CMC. And Elijah Mitchell, having him back in full effect, is another weapon that I don't think your guys' defense is going to have too much of an answer to. So this running game with Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey, and then adding that onto the effect of having Deebo both in the running game and in the passing game, and having George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, heck, even third and Jawan Jennings. Y'all remember him from last year in the wildcard game. Expect him to have a pretty damn good game as well. So I don't think your guys' defense is going to have an answer for this explosive offense, this Kyle Shanahan explosive offense, and this Kyle Shanahan explosive play design. And this defense, the way it's playing right now, I'll just say I might be a little bit more worried about Dak throwing the deep ball to CeeDee Lamb. I expect CeeDee Lamb to do his thing. He's a beast. But I don't expect Ezekiel Elliott to run against this D-line. The way Nick Bosa's playing, and hey, last week he didn't have a highlight game or anything, so expect him to bounce back and have a career game since we're playing the Cowboys in the postseason, and he's going to be fired up for it. And hey, Eric Armstead, hey, Charles Omenihu had a good game last week. Expect that from him again this week. And this secondary, Tashaun Gibson has been an underrated player in this whole year, and he's played great this season. Demo Lenore had an interception last week. A lot of people said that he was the weak link on this defense. He played well last week, and I expect him to play well in this game. Talanoa Hufanga is due to have a big game. He hasn't had a big game in a while, and he made a name for himself in the postseason last year against the Packers, single-handedly winning that game on that block punt that he returned for a touchdown. Expect a big game from Talanoa Hufanga as well. The Wards, Jimmy Ward, of course, has playoff experience, and Moody Ward is an absolute beast. He's had a good year this year. You guys are going to have no answer to this secondary, this defensive line. And hey, the linebackers, don't even get me started on Dre Greenlaw. He's played out of his mind lately. And, of course, I saw an article where he said that he wants to catch a Dak Prescott interception and keep the ball just like he did with Tom Brady, but he will not have Dak Prescott sign the ball like he had Tom Brady sign the ball because Dak Prescott isn't quite on Tom Brady's level. Hey, and Fred Warner, expect him to have a Patrick Willis, LaVar Bowman type game as well.
And I'm telling you right now, guys, the honeymoon is over. The honeymoon is over. Brock Purdy is due. He is not Tom Brady. He is not Peyton Manning. He's not even Dak Prescott. He's Brock Purdy. And it's time for him to crumble like a deck of cards. And that's exactly what's going to happen on Sunday. The Cinderella story is done. Brock Purdy is washed. It's over. It's time to put it into it. And we're going to be the bad guys. We're going to be the villains in this Disney princess movie. And we're going to destroy Brock Purdy and the overrated 49ers in their house on our way to the NFC title game.
Now, here's the thing about Brock Purdy. Until he actually loses a game and looks bad and doesn't look poised and doesn't look like he has all the confidence in the world, I have no reason to believe that will change. Since I've followed the Niners, since I was 10 years old, Brock Purdy, in my opinion, has been the most confident, most poised, and the only quarterback where I have so much confidence that I don't start to cringe when he drops back in the pocket, and because every quarterback the Niners have had, at certain times, I'm like, okay, I don't have a good feeling about this. I don't know where this is going. Now, it's still a small sample size, but still, with Brock Purdy, I always expect the best. I just do. And until he loses a game and looks bad, I just don't expect him to. That's just how it goes. And Duke, I don't think he did it on purpose, but you basically compared Brock Purdy to Joe Montana and Peyton Manning, which, again, you definitely didn't do it on purpose, but doesn't that tell you that you're a little bit scared of what he can do tomorrow? And if this is a Disney movie and you're the villain, doesn't that mean you're going to lose? Because I'm pretty sure all Disney movies, I'm pretty sure the villain usually loses in the Disney movies. But anyway, I cannot wait. Let's go, Niners. Let's get this done. Let's get back to the NFC Championship game, and let's complete that quest for 6. Danny G is out. Peace!
Guy comes on YouTube, and if you're gonna make an 8-week video, take it from an expert, take it from a seasoned veteran. You might want to know who you're playing against. Who the hell is Minka Parsons, Sentinel? Is that the kicker that we just signed to replace Brett Maher? Is that who that is? I've never heard of Minka Parsons before. But at least we're playing Stephon Diggs, right? Look at him. He's saying, I didn't say Stephon Diggs in my video. Go back and watch this video and tell me that he did not say Stephon Diggs. It's there. You said Minka Parsons. We all know that Micah Parsons is the defensive player of the year. Okay, we'll talk about that for a second. Because all you say is, oh, Bosa this and Bosa. Let me ask you a question. They said Joey Bosa is the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Joey Bosa